I applied and I was three times F1 rejected. Resume building is a myth. I am revising my resume like anything. Don't know what recruiter will be. Will be interested on the skill that you have mentioned in your resume. People don't know, or companies don't want the people to work on a single module. And I can only work on Java, or I can work only on Spring Boot. I can work only Angular. They don't want them. They just need an engineer. I think as part of the resume building, that is the only one thing where no one will be satisfied. Just listen to this word. No one will be satisfied on your resume. Getting out of your masters and getting a job, that itself is even bigger than paying your bills. After May 2024, I don't have any funds to live in the US. All funds I have exhausted for my masters. Recruiter called and she said that when is a good time to talk about your salary negotiations. She didn't tell me that you got a job. I asked that, did you get a job? Yeah, you are. You're in. Then I was like, literally, I was like, I prayed God, like saying that, oh my God, you are in.
So hey guys, it's Aftab here. In this podcast, I'm my friend Karthik Rachmeli with us. So he's working full time as an application engineer at Discover Financial Services. So he got this job after completing his masters in USA. So we'll be asking him about his journey, his application approaches, his interview preparation for this role. So let's not waste time and dive into the podcast. Hi Karthik, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for the invite. Yeah, I'm excited to start it.
It's my pleasure to have you in my podcast, Karthik.
Yeah, it's too same here.
Before starting the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
I want to just ask you a brief introduction about you. Like, how was your journey from your bachelor's to master's and master's to Discover?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's a long story, but to brief it, so I'm Karthik Rachamalli. So you can call me Karthik. So I have pretty much of 8 years plus industry experience into particularly full stack development and other things. I think I have started my bachelor's in 2012 in a college called CVR College of Engineering, which is in Hyderabad.
Okay.
So I was a kid, born and brought up in the southern part of Andhra Pradesh, and where I haven't
Okay.
touched Hyderabad till then. And that was my first time for my, my bachelor's. I reached like Hyderabad, and with a lot of excitement and a lot of things. And I completed my, bachelor's in 2016. And I think, as part of the whole journey, I mean, in the particular bachelor's, I don't have an idea to pursue my master's in US particularly. But one of
Okay.
my friend, like he is the guy, like right? We have many friends, like who
Yeah.
makes us take some decisions, like which are like life turning events, which makes like life
Exactly.
turning events. Yeah. So
Yeah.
one of my friend, like he was insisting me, saying that, hey, let's go to US and pursue a masters and settle over there. Okay, like he wants to pursue there, and I just joined him. And I
Okay.
think in 2014, I think it's my second year, I guess. End of the second year, we have joined Princeton, Princeton Review in
Okay.
Himayat, and we
Okay.
started learning. I mean, for preparing for GRE, TOEFL, and all other things, and we are given exams and all other things. But after that, I couldn't get into. I think that's a long. I mean, that's a detailed story. Maybe we can go after that. So after that, in 2016, I tried, but due to some reasons, I haven't made it to US. And later, I
Okay.
started, my job journey. I started in a startup called Capiot as an associate
Okay.
consultant. And later, 1 year after, I have joined Paysafe, which is a fintech company. So from there, like I think after that, six plus years into that particular Paysafe, and later I have joined in. I mean, I start. I mean, I thought of pursuing masters again, and I applied for again all of this admission process and all other stuff, and landed in US in 2023 Jan, and pursued my masters or my dream that I wanted to do. And in 2024 May, I have finished it, and there here I am. I joined in Discover in June, and it's been 5 months.
So Karthik, you were well settled in Paysafe when you were working in India. Like you
Yeah,
have 6+ experience in Paysafe when you were
yeah,
working in India.
yeah.
So why did you leave that job and like plan for
Yeah,
masters
maybe.
specifically?
Yeah, that's what. So I don't want to like reveal that one as part of the brief intro. So if you remember, I started my journey for applying for the universities in the year 2015 itself, like 2015 and 2016. Guess what? After all getting the scores, I mean, I have taken TOEFL for 2 times just to get the good scores to get admissions into good universities. And after that, I got an admission into Northwest Missouri, particularly at that particular point of time. I applied and I was 3 times F1 rejected in the
Oh,
year 2016. Yeah.
oh,
So
okay.
it's like I still remember those days, man. Like those are like I don't think so. Those are my bad days, but in June 23, 2016, and next one is July 11th, 2023, and the final one was on August 2023. So it's not like today. So we can apply how many times we want in the year 2016. So I have applied in just I have attempted 3 times in the span of like 1.5 month actually. So that itself it planted me, that master's thing as part of my life. And the greatest part is we have planned almost I think 8 to 9 people as part of my class. I am only the guy who was rejected as part of the process. So each and
Oh,
every fellow is in US by that time. And other part is I'm a little bit studious and I be there I was a consecutive 5 times my class topper. And there was I mean my bachelor was my peak moment, and it was like very high. And it's not like whatever I touch it becomes gold. It's like
okay.
whatever I was into, I'll be at the highest position over there. So with that particular confidence, but that was my start of my downfall, or I can't say it's a downfall, but that was a break actually for that particular peak moment. And I think fortunately in 20 days after my rejection, that has happened on August 1st, I think I landed with a job in hand in in Capio, as I say. So
Okay.
then I already told you in the introduction. So that was the thing. I mean, of course, I thought of having I want to have some 3 to 4 years of experience, and coming back to US, which will give me more insight and more helpful for me as part of my career growth. But due to COVID, it has been delayed for 2 or 3 years. But
Okay.
the major thing is the resiliency. After 7 years, my resiliency, and moreover, my family, my wife, and my parents, who backed up me for my decision. And later on, I took that particular decision, and I was landed in 2023. It's not like there is nothing in PaySafe. Literally, I have seen very good things as part of PaySafe, where my manager gave me very good positions and very good support.
Okay.
From starting from I have started there as a platform engineer, and I have ended up as a lead, as a lead platform engineer. So it's like I got each and everything that I need as part of PaySafe, and everything that a developer needs. So I have developed base scratch projects. I have been into migrating of projects from old legacy code to the modern architectures and all other things. But due to just that planting bomb that is present in mind, oh, I need to pursue my masters. Okay, at one point of time I need to pursue my masters. Okay, let's go it. So then I took that particular decision. And I think I have attempted that fourth time F1 visa in Delhi. And yeah, fortunately my visa got approved and everything was good, and I landed here in Jan 2023.
So you battled yourself from bachelor's to master's
Yeah,
for
it's
getting
like
your
it's like
visa.
7 years in between.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, those 7 years was very nice. Literally, it was my peak moment in my career actually. So I learned a lot what a developer or what an engineer wants to do as part of those 7 years actually.
And also, it's inspiring for aspirants who are trying to do masters in USA
Yeah,
after their visa got rejected in India.
yeah, correct, correct,
Since
correct.
you
Yeah,
got 3 times rejected, even though you got it in fourth attempt,
yeah.
it's really
And
inspiring
also
for
7 years.
aspirants. Yeah, yeah.
That is crazier part.
Yes, Karthik, yes, Karthik. So, Karthik, after getting into masters, so how was your journey in masters? What all things you have done in your masters?
Yeah, so I think that yeah, I call it as a game. It's a kind of a game that I started after moving from India to US. The first part is I was with very high confidence.
Okay.
I think I can say overconfidence it is, because the thing is like I was like in okay, so I have like 7 years of experience. I can easily manage the masters. Whatever the things that I learned as part of these 7 years, most probably those should be as part of my masters itself, and whatever the courses I have taken. But it is not the case. It is literally not the case. So after 7 years, when I landed in January 2023, I think I don't have a proper accommodation, at the starting point. I faced like many issues as part of like, accustoming towards this US, whatever the academia or, the environment or the people around me and everything. But the major part about it is for the first 8 months, I didn't do any kind of work. I mean, any kind
Okay.
of job in university of any other.
Hmm.
I majorly concentrated to accustom towards what do you call it, completing of my courses.
Okay.
Guess what? So as part of the 7 years of my whole job journey, I used to deal with sprints, tasks, deployments,
Yeah.
releases, or like kind of design discussions or kind of architecting the things. That's it. Okay. But coming back to like having our in UNT taking out courses, weekly discussions, assignments, projects, and whatnot. I mean, whatever it depends on like it varying from course to course. And
So
moreover, whatever we have,
again, getting
yeah,
back to academia is very difficult for
yeah,
you, I guess.
difficult and moreover difficult and moreover the point over here is like it's quite different from the India academia. Like
Exactly.
whatever the
Exactly.
there we used to have midterms, then the final exams. That's it. But here like you need to maintain it week by week. It should be very
Exactly.
consistent to have it. But I can say it's a kind of a pro and con as part of my thing because the topic. I mean, I have taken each and every assignment or task very seriously because the thing is, as I have experience of that 7 years, like we used to take any task or any other things like very seriously and wanted to build a robust code or robust design and architecture. So with the same mindset, I used to think of the tasks and everything that is given as part of the courses, which is literally not needed, but that literally like
Yeah.
pressurized me,
Okay.
pushed me into a state of frustration, saying that I need to do it for I mean if a task is given, I need to complete it in almost like 2 or 3 days. It's like documenting. I think I still remember my software engineering course, so where I have documented 86 pages for a single project in the span of like 3 to 4 days. That,
Okay.
and moreover there is no team. I don't want to work with a team at that particular point of time due to many reasons over there. It was really hard as part of it. But I wanted to really thank Dr. Ubaldo Jesus. So he is the guy like who has understood my journey. He has understood my pain points. And the major thing I forgot to say is like I don't have any bank loan. Whatever I
Okay.
have earned for the last 7 years from 2016, all I have invested into my masters. So
That's
which
really
is really,
inspiring. That's really
yeah,
inspiring,
that's
Karthik.
correct, correct. Yeah, thank you. But the thing is, that is the point where it pinches you or it makes a pain in your brain, saying that, "Arey yaar, you have invested or you have exhausted all of your funds in India, and you are just investing over here. So that means how serious you wanted to take the task, how serious you
Exactly.
wanted to be about it." So with that particular note, I used to share each and everything with my professor and whatever the course, I mean students or friends, everything over here. And I think he has helped me, and I mean he has recommended me, and I got a teaching assistantship under him for fundamentals of database systems. I think that is where like you are a student under me in that particular fall 2023, and it was
So,
I think you are
guys, I was student of Karthik. He was my teaching assistant during a course, Fundamentals of DBA, in my
yeah,
university.
yeah.
So he used to he used to be very strict in his work. He used to do very strict in his corrections and all.
Yeah, yeah. I'll come to that. So there I continued from fall 2023 and ended at May 2024. But that particular teaching assistant was like it's my literally I used to treat that job as a god, because the thing is it used to pay my paychecks, and it used I mean the paychecks used to pay my bills, utilities, food, each and everything. And the major
Exactly.
part about it is I also bought my wife, who has a similar experience of 8 plus years experience in India. She
Okay.
came only for me to pursue a master's at UNT. So we have
Okay.
taken a separate home, and everything was separate. So only TA is the one source of income that we have to just spend or like, to live over here. So that was really a seriously game that I done as part of the masters. And for the whole 1.5 year, I mean 1.5 year, it was like really horrible. But it was very good as part of the academics and I mean part of the grades or part of this teaching aspect. Everything is good. But overall, I can say that it's a kind of a I can't say it's frustrated, but the thing is like a tough journey as part of this 1.5 year.
So Karthik, as you have mentioned that you worked as a teaching assistant, right? So what all things and what all experience you have gained from being a TA?
Yeah. So as I said that, this teaching assistant is a kind of role that I haven't, till now. So the thing is, but I love teaching. I love teaching, maybe and eventually after like, 10, 15 years, I might be landing into that particular career after getting good career experience and good practical industry experience. But that literally helped me. I already told you it helped me for my living. At the same time, for my career, whenever I started over there, like I have seen like many of the students as part of, I think your class strength is like almost 120. So
120,
where
yeah, exactly.
everyone, yeah, everyone was out of, they are like freshers, just like landed after, bachelors with no experience and
Exactly.
with having a very high ambitious thinkings. But my point is, by looking at them, like they were lacking of the basics. Whatever the things that they want to do, and they don't know how to move forward. Like how, in which direction they need to explore and get the things up for their career.
Exactly.
So as part of that, I enjoyed guiding them towards whatever the coursework or whatever their career journeys or any other things. That is the first thing I learned. And the next thing is to manage the workload of that. Like you remember as part of our operating systems, there is a topic called context switching, which is a very costliest operation. It is the
Yes,
same.
yes.
It has been done as part of in my mind. So in a day, I used to grade, which is different context. In a day, in the same day, I need to skill up, and in the same day, I need to apply for the applications, and I mean job applications, and I also need to see oversee I mean all the coursework that I have. I mean the regular coursework I have. It's like 4 to 5 things in a day, and I just need to switch from one to another without taking more much time. So, for example, if I finish it at 8, at 8:15, I need to start up with the other things.
Yes.
So it should be very hard, but I managed to how you can quickly I mean have the transition from one to another as part of in a day particularly. And
So
the other learning,
how was your
yeah,
schedule during the day, Karthik? Like you mentioned, you
yeah,
have to grade it, you have to upskill
correct,
yourself, you have to do assignments, you have to
yeah,
apply
yeah.
for jobs. How was your day schedule?
Yeah, the schedule. I mean, the day schedule was really I mean, it's simple, but the thing is, I'll let you know what are the tasks that I have as part of a day. So first thing is my primary thing. So I need to complete all the gradings and all other things as part of it. So that is the primary thing. I think if you remember, you used to get weekly discussions, assignments,
Exactly.
projects at a
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So it is hard for our graders as well to grade as much as can, like in 1 week itself. So I used to spend like 2 hours. That might be in the morning or that might be in the evening. So that sometimes I used to grade at midnight. That is the reason, like you would see your grades released at midnight,
Midnights.
1 o'clock or two
Yeah.
o'clock. Yeah. So after that, like I used to divide into three parts majorly. Maybe I can explain how my application journey was there in that particular thing. So three parts. So the first part is to skill up, and the second part is for learning the skills that I have. I mean, learning in the sense revising and brushing up the things that I have. And the third
Okay.
part is for the grading and all other miscellaneous things. So those three
Okay.
parts of the day, on a high level, I used to divide.
So coming to our main important question, Karthik, how did you start and how did you apply for companies during your masters?
Yeah. So as I already told that, I have this like pretty good of 8 years of experience as part of this industry. So my main goal will be like I started in January itself. I think in January
Okay.
2023 itself. I thought of having what do you call applied. I mean, I thought of having to apply for CPTs generally, because
Okay.
we used to spend like 2 long semesters to take up a, CPT job that I don't know at the spring semester of January. But I mean, if I wanted to say a date, I started my journey in the month of September 2023.
Okay.
So where I started applying for JPMC. I got a call from JPMC in the month of September 2023.
Was
So
it your third semester?
Yeah, it was my third semester. Yeah, after
So
my
you
summer.
started apply. Okay, you
Yeah,
started applying after your third semester, during
yeah,
your third semester.
during my third semester. Yeah, I think
Okay.
after 8 or 9 months after I joined my masters, so I started applying. So when I applied, I only apply for the senior roles, of course. So
Okay.
as I having that 8 years of experience, so with that particular note, I got a call from JPMC for a lead platform engineer or lead software developer.
Okay.
So I was very excited, and I felt that, oh my god! So I got a first my job interview, because my point is, like, I have stayed in Paysafe for 6+ years, and my
Yeah.
last interview was in the year of 2017. So after 2017, I haven't given any job interview. So that was
Job
my
interviews. Yeah.
first job interview after that 6 or 7 years of things. So I just put all of my efforts and given it, but unfortunately, like, due to this immediate process hiring, like, he needs that particular process, or role needs to be filled up immediately. I
Okay.
lost it as part of in the September. And later, in the month of December, I flew to India to meet my friends and family. So before, I think on 18th of December, I think I need to I have a flight, but in 16th, I guess, like, I have an interview with Goldman Sachs. That is also, I
Okay.
have played through career sites.
Okay.
That is also the same. They don't want to go for the CPT. They wanted to go for at least OPT or H1B guys. So
Okay.
that is gone.
So you
And
also applied for a senior role in Goldman Sachs,
yeah. It's a
and
senior staff.
through its application portal.
Yeah, it's every yeah. So the JPMC is through the application portal, and the Goldman Sachs is also through the application portal. So I
Okay.
mean, why I told you these two things is I haven't started rigorous way of applications through LinkedIn or, like, whatever the things, because
Oh.
I have
Okay.
some standard resumes that I have already. So where I have used the same things just to apply with the old resumes and start applying for them in a targeted companies. That's it.
Okay.
And middle in November 2023 as well, I got an interview call from Airbase, so which is a fully remote company. But the role was in India, so that was gone. So three things before my rigorous application process has been gone, and after that, after a lot of enthusiasm coming back to US after from India, so I thought of, like, kickstart my process like anything. But I also wanted to give it as a suggestion to the students, where resume building is a myth. I
Okay.
don't know. I don't think so. Like, anybody said that, but I wasted like 1.5 month. I think, yeah, I can say that it's 1.5 month till February last week. So maybe if you can focus on these timelines, I think you will be very. I mean, you'll learn something.
Yeah.
So till February last week, I am, like, revising my resume like anything. I
Okay.
wanted to keep it the best. But the craziest part is there is nothing like best. There is
Okay.
nothing like best. You don't know what recruiter will be. I mean, will be interested on the skill that you have mentioned in your resume.
Okay.
So, but I wasted for 1.5 month, and after that, I later I realized that, okay, let's stop here. Let's start applying. So I
Okay.
think in the February, we need to apply for OPT actually. So I applied my OPT, and to boost my motivation and to start my the disciplined things. I have a habit of pushing myself, by scheduling the exams or scheduling some interviews. Without that scheduling, I can't really study,
Yeah.
right. So generally, like, it is a major problem for many. So I scheduled an AWS certification, like Solutions Architect Associate, as part of AWS certification process in the month of April 4th, and then a real journey started. So where I divided my day, as I already told you, into three sets of four as part of my day. So I used to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and 9 I used to start my AWS certification process. As I am having this previous experience, so I know that I'll be posed with some system design questions, or end-to-end scenarios. So I
Okay.
need to explain them from end-to-end things, so that I thought of, like, AWS will be a good thing, because I learned the cloud, because I also worked on AWS cloud, but I just need to show them a proof saying that I have some experience in AWS. It's not a fake one. I have the
Okay.
certificate, and I also worked on it. So from 9 to 12 or 12:30, I used to literally video used to play in my laptop, and I used to take notes.
Okay.
It is, I mean, yeah, everyone thinks that "Arey, it's like old process of taking the things. Why can't I take digitally, or why can't I record the things? But literally, trust me, guys. Like if you write it down, it will be directly your like noting down it in your
Noting
brain. You're
down from your
directly
brain, yeah.
that's it. So you just need to write it, write it, write it, write it. After that, 12 to 12:30, having a lunch break for half an hour or like 1 hour. So later, then I'll start brushing up my skills that I have. So as my experience was too long, my skill set was like it was too heavy as part of the resume,
Yes.
and moreover, as part of the same resume, I need to be in a position to answer the question of the interview on whatever the skill that he points out. So I used to put a time for a week and brush up all those skills. And guess what? With that particular, after that particular week, you need to revise them. I used to
Okay.
revise 1 week, brushing up, and again the second week, revising it, and the third week, revising it. So my point is here are the two old school things. One is writing it down, and second thing is revising. Nobody like I don't know like to my experience and to my things like I haven't seen anybody like revising the things. You just need to revise the things. So that is my second part of my second part of the day. And the third part is like after having a bath. So I'll be starting with lead code. So in 2019, I used to be a lead code buff, where
Okay.
I used to solve like 2 to 3 problems a day, and make up follow that particular consistency, and make sure that everything is good. But I think you might be knowing that the lead code is the guy like he's just a kind of math. So if you stop it today, I think if you start it like after a week, then you're gone again. You
So
need to
for
start
doing
it from
lead code, we have to be consistent. The main thing is
consistent.
being consistent.
Yeah. So without that particular consistency, you're gone.
So you were
So.
consistent learning other than leak code and again solving leak code
Mhm.
problems. You were consistent, right?
Yeah, so I started like blind 75 in the month of March. That's what. So yeah, the whatever the day schedule I'm trying to say, I followed it from the month of March starting itself. I think March 1st or March 2nd, and the third part is like that lead code ones. So I used to solve at least two problems as part of that blind 75. Trust me,
Okay.
guys. Like blind 75 is the one like that is mostly needed for to crack almost 80% of your interviews.
Okay.
And I have added that fourth part that is as part of grading and my coursework,
Okay.
and any other miscellaneous things that are related to my journey. So that will be after 9 or 10. So I used to
Okay.
grade and everything. So this is like my 24 hours is divided into four parts. So in this way, like I used to segregate, and in between of these things, I used to apply for at least 2 to 3 hours in between. For example, from 8 to 9, I woke up at 8 9. So from 8 to 9, I used to apply for some of the things as part of my LinkedIn. So I haven't focused majorly into different types of platforms. I'm majorly focused on LinkedIn. That's it. And
Okay.
second part is like targeting the companies. So targeting the companies and going into their career pages and applying them, and regularly checking whether we have a new kind of job roles that have been posted. 1 hour in the morning, afternoon 1 hour, and evening if I have some time, I'll apply for half an hour or more.
So were you focused on only one particular role or any other one
Mhm.
particular role, or are you like focusing on any
Yeah,
role which was available?
yeah. The first thing is first. So I don't want to go what do you call for a new role, because the thing is I completely know that if I go for a new role saying that ML engineer or AI engineer from it, I'll be a
Okay.
fresher over there. I don't
Correct.
want
Yeah.
to be. I don't want to
Okay.
be. So I think fortunately I'm into a good tech stack. So I'm a full stack developer. So where my
Okay.
backend is heavily on Java, Spring Boot, and all other things. And front end used to be on Angular. So which are
Okay.
like greatest selling skills as part of US. So I wanted to be in the same full stack development journey, and I have majorly looked out for senior full stack developer or lead full stack developer roles.
Okay. So, as you have mentioned, Karthik, during your application approach, during your application phase, so how many companies have you applied during your masters, being a master's student and
Yeah.
being a TA and working as a TA in your university?
Yeah. Yeah, that is a hard question. I think you literally like you can't believe me, but the thing is like I have tracked them for almost I think 3 or 4 days. That's it. I think by
Okay.
then I applied almost 300 to 400 jobs. I
Okay.
think 100 on an average on day. But after
Starting from your
that,
third semester? Starting from your third
no,
semester?
it's like in the fourth one. It's like in the fourth one. So in
Okay.
the third semester, I used to apply only targeted companies.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, in the third semester, only the targeting companies. That's it.
Like
So
what
you
were
know,
those targeting companies? Like what roles were you looking for in those targeting
it is the
companies?
same. It is the same. So
Full stack developer.
senior staff, or senior full stack developer, or senior software engineer, or with the same kind of roles that I mean, it's my next journey that I have left where I left in India.
Okay.
So I just wanted to continue from there. That's it. I never went for any other roles that is there.
Okay. So, Karthik, since you have mentioned that point in which you said that resume building is a myth and start
Mhm.
applying, can you
Mhm.
best elaborate more on it? Like many
Yeah, yeah.
people, many students think like, first I have to
Mhm.
build my resume, then I'll start applying for the jobs. Is it
Yeah.
the right way or is it the wrong way? Can you guide on it?
Yeah, sure. Okay, whatever. I mean, I wanted to put a disclaimer. So it's my personal experience and my personal gut feeling. But whatever I explain, I'll explain with the the reasons why I have taken to that particular statement. Why you call it as resume building is a myth. So the first point is let's talk it with the energy levels. Okay. So when
Okay.
you wake up in the morning, so you'll have a lot of energy, isn't it? You'll have a
Yeah.
lot of energy, and you can do whatever the hardest. I mean, generally, it's suggestible to do your best or hard work. I mean, hard task in the morning, and then later your energy drops down, and you need to see for the softer things or easier things. It is the
Exactly.
same with the job application process itself. It's a process. It's not kind of it's a kind of a phase where you just apply, get a job. It's not that. It's like a process. Whenever you are starting a process, you will have a lot of I mean, you'll have a lot of enthusiasm. You'll have a lot of excitement. You'll have a lot of energy,
Yeah.
and all other things you are putting it into the resume building, or you are
Exactly.
building into the. But my point about it is like resume building is not the one that will decide for an interview. Of course, I agree that there are many AI related things which will pick your resume or reject your resume. Automatic ATS tool we have it, right? So where
Yeah.
it is automatically doing it. I agree with that. But the thing is, my point is, don't waste much about it. Much time over there. So if you waste the time, I think as part of the resume building, that is the only one thing where no one will be satisfied. Just listen to this word. No one
Okay.
will be satisfied on your resume. Because whenever you see a new role, you will find a new skill. Whenever you have a call with a recruiter, or whenever you have a call with any guy as part of the industry, you will see that they will be working on a new domain or new things. You need to
Okay.
include that particular thing. So how much
Okay.
you can include it in your resume? It's like almost, and moreover, like, right now, everyone was targeting to have a single page resume and two-page resumes. But
Okay.
if you keep on building the things, you will be frustrated there and then itself. Before it's like a pre-thing. Before
Okay.
applying itself, you are almost you're gone. I mean, you are almost tired, and then you start your application process, and you will say that why I'm really frustrated because the thing is I'm not getting interview calls after building this beautiful resume or standard resume. So my particular point of my suggestion is have a basic resume with literally whatever the genuine skills you have and the projects you have. Try to enhance it. As part of the resume, show them like I'm capable of doing. I'm capable of that particular role that you are posting. Make sure that you are inculcate those kind of things as part of the resume and start applying. Okay,
Okay.
so when you start applying, immediately job after the job, you will read all the job descriptions and everything. Then you will find out what are the skills that you need to include to get the resume shortlisted. Then
Okay.
add it, then add it. So your resume is not a place where like okay. So after it's not a sequence actually. So resume building can be a parallel thing which you need to build throughout the application process. Even after my I got into Discover, I'm still building my resume. Do you remember like do you believe that? So the thing is like it's a kind of a process. It's not a kind of start and stop. So okay, I finished the resume, then I need to stop the application process. With this particular note, like students are like into that particular what do you call in a phase where they need to start a resume, finish it, and then application process. Then you don't know this when how much time it will take. So
Yeah,
my point
exactly.
is like take 2 or 3 days max, or like 3-4 days max. Prepare the resume that shows your genuine skills, and where if someone points at your resume and ask a question about it, then go for it. I mean, you need to answer it. So in that particular note, you just need to prepare a resume and start applying. So see the jobs, you'll get more into the job descriptions, add those skills back, and tailor it, update it, and apply it.
So you suggest to stick with a solid resume,
Hmm.
whatever skills you have genuinely, and start applying for the jobs.
Yeah, start applying for the jobs, and
Gradually, and while applying for the jobs, you want us to update the resume,
update the
right?
resume, and have it. I think after applying for 1 month or something. So there are two things you need to remember. So after end of a month, you are for example, let's say, I'm a person like where I learn the things by comparing the things. Okay, so
Okay.
let's learn this particular process with a marathon or some running. Okay, so when you're running, okay, when you started running, definitely you will feel a pain in your calves and your in thighs and your the whole body will say that stop here, don't run, don't run, don't run, don't run. But if you make sure that, okay, to suppress that particular feeling, and you will start running after it for like maybe 10 minutes or 5 minutes in the marathon, then your body will get used to it, and it will not like say that hey Karthik, or hey Aftab, stop here, stop here. It will be like
Yeah.
it will enjoy, it will get
Enjoy
used
the
to
ride.
it.
Yeah. Yes,
Huh.
exactly.
So here the point is like you have already kicked off your resume preparation, and you are a little bit tired of that. So whenever you are tired, you are starting a new process. That is applying.
Yes.
If
Yeah.
you start those two things at at the same starting point, then it will be easier for your body to your mind to use to it, saying that okay, so I'm applying for it, and I'm also preparing the resume. By end of the month, you already be a skillful job applier. At the same time, you'll have a good resume.
That's a really valuable advice, Karthik,
Yeah.
on building your resume. It's really
Yeah,
insightful.
because I mean that I have seen like many of the people like, yeah, they are going for. If I ask any of my friends, they are saying that I'm in a process of preparing the resume. Then I'll be asking that, "Arey, when you will apply?" Because things you are building because of you need to apply it. You don't know in that particular 1 month, there might be a perfect
They-
role that matches you,
Exactly.
and you might lost
Exactly.
it.
Exactly, Karthik.
So yeah,
I
start
completely
building.
agree with you that. Yeah. So while applying for the jobs, uh, when was Discover Financial Services got into your mind, and when did you
Hmm.
apply for it?
Yeah. So as I said that I started my process in March 1st or March 2nd with a lot of things like saying that it's a hard scheduling things. So April
Okay.
4th is my exam, and I need to prepare for that. At the same time, I need to prepare. I need to brush up my skills and all other things.
Okay.
So in LinkedIn, I open at 8 to 9 in the morning actually. So I used to put a standard filters,
Okay.
nothing fancy, no things, just past 24 hours in United States. That's it. Past
Okay.
24 hours, United States. So with these particular things, whatever that sorted over here, maybe like 50 or 60, I apply to each and everything. So,
Okay.
and moreover, one thing is, firstly, I applied for like, these easy applies, but later I skipped them because the thing is, with the easy applies, I never got a email that, I'm rejected as well. So,
Oh.
no response from them. That was my
Okay.
experience. Everything that goes into their career websites, I used to apply there. And I have used a couple of tools like saying that, this simplify.io, where it used to, fill out my application process automatically, which saved my time. And I used to apply for at least like, 10,
Which
10 or
which
20.
platform is it, Karthik?
It's simplify.io, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah,
How can it
maybe.
be useful?
Yeah, it is an extension as part of the Google Chrome. So where you need to give your details prior to it, and
Okay.
if at all that particular job application site is viable and accessible by that particular extension, it's automatically like it will ask you to it will ask a no- it'll I mean we'll have a notification over there where it will ask like shall I apply for it. So if you click
Okay.
on that, it will automatically fill all these things.
Okay.
Particularly if you go for this workday platforms. So for workday platforms, the best thing is the Simplify.
Okay.
So Simplify or something, I think maybe I'll give it to you. I think you can have it in your description, or maybe you
Yeah.
can
Sure.
correct it
Sure.
afterwards. But
Sure,
there
Karthik.
is an extension where it will fills. It is the best for workday platforms. Believe me, like it's best. for filling a workday job application, it used to take like almost I think if you go on very fast, it will take 5 to 10 minutes. But with this particular extension, you will be finishing off in 1 to 2
Oh,
minutes, which is
okay,
real,
okay.
which is really good, and it helps a lot. And
So,
while I'm
okay.
doing that, for the past 24 hours, I have kept that particular things, and I'm just like applying. And anyway, I think right? So Discover is like a credit card that will be in each and every student's pocket. It will be the
Exactly.
first credit card that will be present as part of it.
Exactly.
And I don't have anything as part of it, but while I'm looking into that particular LinkedIn, I have seen that Discover, and the role was principal application engineer. I thought that, okay, oh, Discover, oh, it's my credit card, it's my first credit card. Okay, let's apply. Okay, I applied it. I think,
Okay.
guess what, like, in just one day, I got an email from them saying that, I think recruiter didn't call me, but I got a mail from them asking for my, current visa status, and, number of years of experience, and, all of the things like, necessary for kickstarting the process. I
Okay.
think it's around March 7th or 8th. I got the particular email. That was my first thing that I got it in 2024.
Okay.
Before that, each and everything was a rejection. Each and
Oh,
everything. I used to see that common phrase, unfortunately.
unfortunately.
So by looking at them, this was the first thing I wanted to see. Then I thought that okay, let's give the information, and let's go on it. I gave all the information that is necessary for that particular thing, and she has scheduled an interviews. I think I have gone through 5 rounds of interview over there, which is first they I think after 4 rounds or 5 rounds on application engineers, and yeah, after that I think I got my job offer on April 23rd, I guess. It's a process of 1.5 month mostly. I think roughly 1.5 month. And I landed. I mean, I had my job offer, first job offer on April 23rd, 2024.
Karthik, can you elaborate more on the interview process which you have, like how many
Yeah,
stages were there,
yeah.
like specifically for application engineer, what type of skills and what type of certifications are required for you?
Yeah, yeah. I think firstly, I think we'll go with the process, and then we'll go with the skills and other things. So there are two parts
Okay.
of it. So the first part is, I think I already told you. So after applying for these things in LinkedIn itself, I got an email from the recruiter, and my first interview was scheduled on May 17th, I guess. Sorry, March 17th. March 17th. So where they have checked my credentials, like do I really have that 8 years of experience, and they have
Okay.
asked me about all the end-to-end things.
In
So
your
it
first
might
stage.
be, yeah,
In
in the
the
first interview.
okay.
In the first interview, so it was it's a testing that whether you will be a fit for an application engineer or a principal,
Okay.
and they wanted to. I mean, that particular first round is to filter you guys, like saying that whether we can spend other 4 rounds of interview on you or not.
Okay.
So first round is a kind of a filter round, so where they'll be going through all the things like they went for me particularly, they have checked what is my front end skill, say what is my back end skill, so how I have, because I have led the team for almost 3 years in India, so they have asked some questions into my projects, and whatever the CI/CD pipelines that I have built, and whatever
Okay.
the web applications I worked on, and
Okay.
all other things. I mean, it's not basics. It's a kind of senior related questions. So if you are a senior, definitely you can crack that particular interview if you have a genuine experience. So that is my
Okay.
first round. And after that, I think I was waiting for a week actually, scheduling dates for all 4 or 5 rounds of interview at once. So I need to
Okay.
give the timeline or dates for all the 4 to 5 interviews at once. So I have gave 4 to 5, and on I mean, yeah, 4 alternative days I have my interviews, I think, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
So purely
Okay.
behavioral. So everyone thinks that behavioral is not needed, but behavioral is needed in US. Behavioral is
Exactly.
needed in US. I was stressing on it. Behavioral is needed in US, because in India I had like I given like more interviews over there, but there I think to my knowledge we don't have any kind of behavioral things over there. But in US you need to have behavioral. You need to learn how to crack the behavioral rounds as well. So out of the behavioral questions, they are like pretty much standard questions. You can get it from the internet. But
Like
my
what type
whole
of
solution, yeah,
basic questions, behavioral questions, Karthik?
it's like the same thing. So describe a challenge that you have faced as part of your experience, and how
Mm-hmm.
did you solve it?
Okay.
Okay, so another basic questions is how did you solve a conflict that came up within your team, and how did you make sure that that conflict was resolved? And maybe if you're given a new technology or new things, new work, so how did you approach it?
Okay.
And such type of like basic questions itself, I think there is nothing specific about them, but you can directly find it out as part of these things. But my point about behavioral things is, my suggestion how you need to prepare for it is, you just need to prepare a story.
Okay.
Okay, so for example, because as part of the behaviorals, interviewers are very good at that, where they'll ask whether you are faking it or not. So
Okay.
saying that, they'll ask about the challenge, and they'll immediately ask about what exactly the conflict that has been faced as part of that particular challenge. If you tell one scenario for this particular what do you call, a challenge situation, and you tell other things for that conflict situation, then you're gone, because you're faking it. So
Yeah,
my
exactly.
point is like, have a story in your mind, and moreover, my point is like, even you are fresher, don't think that your challenge is a small one. Learning an Angular or learning a framework. Sometimes for some people coming from a civil background, or like any other electrical background, that can be literally a challenge over there. But it
Yes,
can be a
definitely.
challenge. You can explain it. So
Exactly.
the best method for your behavioral is, I think you might be learned, or you might be have listened in many podcasts or many interviews, that you need to follow STAR method:
Okay.
situation, target, action, and result.
Okay.
And the one thing I just wanted to highlight over here is, I think no one has said that, is your target and your result, your T and your R is not same. Everyone
Okay.
thinks that my target is this, and you will say result as this. I have achieved the target. It is not you're achieving the target. As part of the result, you need to say some quantitative values or some qualitative values. How it has changed. What is the impact that has created with that particular thing, or with that particular behavioral question that is posed. You got it right.
Yeah.
So that is one valuable tip I can give as part of the behavioral rounds. So be prepared. Don't try to give the behavioral rounds on the go, because I tried with the same overconfidence for Goldman Sachs in the month of December. I thought that behavioral, okay, I have like 7 years of experience. Why can't I give, like, I have many challenges, because like for the whole 8 years, I might face many challenges. I might face many conflicts, anything, right? So it's like huge.
Exactly.
So, but while you're talking, you will be having only 45 minutes of time. You
So
will
we have to
have
be
more
more
behavioral.
precise what you're
Yeah,
going to
you need to be
explain to the
more
recruiter.
precise, and you need
Yeah.
to make sure that that it is a real challenge that you have faced. You got my point.
Exactly.
It's not like challenge. It's the real challenge. You need to make sure that the interviewer believe that it's a real challenge.
So
So
Karthik, should we have to prepare for the behavioral on like what all if some like if we have to
Mhm.
keep a set of challenges which you have faced so that when recruiter asks us those questions, we have to be
Mhm.
ready to explain those
Yeah,
answers?
yeah, correct, correct, correct. I
Or
mean,
should we have to
definitely.
go in a flow while recruiter were asking the questions?
No, it's not like that. Whatever the interviewer, they'll be posing specific questions. They'll ask that what is the challenge that you have faced, or else what is the conflict that you have faced, and how did you resolve it. So there will be
Okay.
specific questions itself. My point is, don't cook the answers over there. If you
Okay.
cook the answers over there, it will be a very difficult task, isn't it? So if you
Exactly.
cook it, if something goes wrong, it's a story, man. You need to narrate over there. If you narrate wrongly, then definitely your screenplay is gone. Then you
Exactly.
can you can't get into that particular round. So that is like,
Exactly.
first of all, the same thing. So if you come into the practical world, so the director will be like, he'll be prepared while going to a hero or the artist to explain their narrate their story. It's the same
Exactly.
way here. So you just need to prepare
Exactly.
for some, at least some basics. There are hundreds and hundreds of behavioral questions, but you'll have some basic questions that you can find where at least you need to prepare for 20 to 30 behavioral questions. Write it
Exactly.
down again. Write it
Okay.
down, and just revise them. Write it down, revise them, so that you will be, how you prepare for F1 interviews, man. It's the same way.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's the
Yeah.
same way. Yeah. And the
So,
next trickiest thing is your behavioral plus technical. So how the things go is, so they'll pose you a behavioral question. So it happened for me.
Okay.
they will pose you a behavioral question and you will tell something related to technical itself, of course, right? So if you
Okay.
wanted to tell a challenge, for example, I have faced this one, this in this X, or let's say I have some experience in Kafka. So I have faced a challenge in Kafka. So they'll start drilling it. Why you are thinking it is a challenge? What are the alternatives for it? Why you have faced this particular thing at that particular point of time? Why can't be like this? You got my point.
Okay.
This
Got
is
it.
like
Got it. Yeah.
roasting, yeah, going into the deeper. So my
So
point is like whenever,
based on your based on when you're implementing a code or when you're implementing a project,
yeah,
they'll be asking behavioral questions based on
yeah,
how you are overcoming that challenge when you're uploading, like when you're like
yeah,
overcoming that.
challenges, and you will be ready to answer the questions at least two levels from there, two levels
Yeah,
from there.
exactly,
So
exactly, Karthik.
why you are thinking that it's a challenge? You need to an answer. But you have a lot of alternatives. Why can't you go into that particular way? They'll
Yeah,
pose in the same question. You need to
exactly,
be in a position why you need to explain why you have taken this particular thing. Why
exactly.
only Kafka? Just like so, my suggestion over there is like famous fundament, five W's and one H.
Okay.
What, where, when, who, and some where, I guess, like where, and the other one is H. So you need to apply. It will be helpful for you in learning a new technology or preparing for interview, whatever it might be. So these five W's and one H philosophy is like
What is
it will
H? What is H here, Karthik?
how
How? Okay. Mm.
how. So in that particular note, you will have a pure behavioral. You will have behavioral plus technical digging deep, and you will have pure whiteboarding where you will be getting questions on DSA algorithms and system design related questions or any other things into your
Okay.
projects or any other things. So after cracking all of these things, I think I have again waited for a week with so much because I was very excited and nervous because the major motivation over here is after May 2024, I don't have any funds to live in the US because the thing is all funds I have exhausted for my masters and I only have the funds in India just to pay my wife's master's fees for next two
Okay.
semesters. That's it.
Okay.
So where she is graduating in December 2024. So I just have the funds for her final semester. That's it. I don't have funds to live with that particular amount in US. With
Okay.
that particular motive, I was very nervous whether I'll get that particular job or not, and I had kept all my 100% efforts over there. And literally, guess what? Like after 1 week, my recruiter called and she said that when is the good time to talk about your salary negotiations. She didn't told me that you got a job. She said that take your paper and write down your whatever the negotiations or whatever the things. I asked her saying that ma'am, first of all, can I ask you questions? She said, yeah, go on. So I asked that, did I get a job? Yeah, you are. Then I was like, literally, I was like, I prayed God, like saying that, oh my God, you are in that particular. Literally, that was like, tough situation, man. Like, I literally, tears are out, and because I have exhausted everything in India, right? So it's
Exactly.
not like exhaustion. I invested. I can say that it's instead of exhaustion, it's invested. So zero at India. So after that, I think my OPT date was on June 1st, and I took like 1 month, 10 days, and I mean I came to discover.
Awesome. Really inspiring journey, Karthik.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting goosebumps when you're explaining that the the last process when you were speaking with the
Yeah,
interview.
yeah, because that is what the place like I don't know I too don't remember that so how I have given my pure 100% because what I believe is like you put 100% leave about the result, it
Rest.
will be
Yes, sir.
sorted, it will be sorted, that's it.
Okay. So, Karthik, now we're going to focus on the
Mhm.
whiteboard, the technical interview rounds, which were there on your, and how would you suggest students to get prepared for those technical rounds like that?
Yeah. So coming to whiteboarding, so whiteboarding depends on your candidacy because it will depends on your previous interviews. So how many whiteboards you need to be involved in. So for me,
What is whiteboard, Karthik?
whiteboard is nothing but they can have whatever the questions they can, like particularly they'll focus more on your pure technical skills, not any
Okay.
they'll not bring any behavioral things. They'll test only your to basics. It's a pure technical round, so
Okay.
where it can include from DSA algorithms to your Java related questions or your current technical questions as well.
Okay.
Okay, so with that particular note, so for me, I think he asked me, like, the interviewer asked me to share my screen and open some kind of IntelliJ, so IDE, where I mean, he has given some coding question I need to solve there, and then run it and execute and show it, and any some kind of algorithm related questions. How did you solve that? How did you do that? And some related to system design questions.
Okay.
So if you given a scenario, so how would you behave as that particular point of time? How did you design the systems? And how did you and the same, you need to answer why you have chosen that particular technologies, and why did you go in this particular path. So whiteboards are the things where technically intensive. So if you prepare well for them, of course everyone will be preparing for technical interviews itself, because the thing is they'll brush up their skills, whether it might be Java, DSA, algos, or anything. So that should be good. But my suggestion would be revising it.
Okay.
So many people will just go through the things, but they will not revise. But my point is just revise the things. You take some particular thing. For example, if you wanted to brush up skills, you take some particular time frame. So, for example, if you take 2 weeks, so in that particular 2 weeks, yeah, finish off all the things, not into deep, at least on a high level. Again start the game again. So revise them for next 2 weeks. Again revise them for next 2 weeks. So end of the 6 weeks, you have revised the same topics for 3 times. Do you believe that it will not be there in your mind? Even if you woke up in the middle of the night, if someone asks the questions, you will be in a state where you can answer it very perfectly. That is
Exactly.
what the confidence that is needed in interviews. That's it. That is the key. That is the key. You need to revise it. You need to revise it. That's it. People are like thinking that it's an old school, but no, you need to revise it. You need to revise it. You need to prepare it for before you are going to the interviews. So whiteboarding
So,
can be achievable if you brush up your skills, brush up your DSA algorithms, and I think DSA algorithms is also the same thing, like blind 75, because you just need to know the knowledge of how you apply the things.
okay.
Because if you are lucky, you will get the same question that you have cracked yesterday, but most probably you'll get a question that where you need to apply your things that you learned as part of DSA algorithms.
So
You got my point.
instead of solving hundreds of problems in lead code, just focus on few problems like blind 75,
Blind
and
75, yeah,
be clear with the be clear with the question how you're
concepts.
going to face it
Yeah.
algorithm, right?
Yeah, just apply them. Just try to
Okay.
apply them, in a proper way. I mean, first of all, try to understand in a proper way where you can, solve a problem, using that particular concept.
Okay.
And, go for it. Try to, I think, I don't believe that, cracking like thousands of problems every day on lead code, but there are some kind of patterns that will be available, like, for example, sliding window, two
Okay.
pointers, linked list, trees, graphs, like that. So I think that is where how this blind 75 was designed particularly. So I think most probably, if you finish that blind 75, you are a student of a computer science, precisely. The first thing is DSA algorithms is a basic one, because every company was using that particular funda of, like, taking DSA algorithm rounds to filter the candidates. And I think every student will have this particular question, because even I have the same question when I was a fresher, saying that, Array, will be asking, like, red black trees, or like, graphs or linked list questions, but you will never use them while you are doing a job.
Exactly.
Definitely, you'll never use them. But the thing is, they'll use that particular what do you call thing, just to filter the things. That's it. So that means if you are good at DSA algorithm, that results in whatever the job that is given to you, you will be in a state to crack it, or you will be in a state to complete it.
Okay.
So it's not, don't think that DSL algorithm, if you learn it, it's useless, but it will help you in somewhere around in your whole journey of your career. For your basic skills, how to build the things. So
Okay.
at least be what do you call perfect in one language, either it might be Java, C, C++, or Python, anything. And if you wanted to come into this particular full stack environment, so go with a front end thing like React or Angular or Vue. Anything, one thing is enough. One thing enough.
Okay.
So
Okay.
here, a whole world. I just wanted to, with my experience, I wanted to say is each and everything is similar. Each and everything is similar. The way we talk is different. That's it. So it's like,
Okay.
again, compare with the same practical things. So here, the communication language that we use is English. If at all, it can be Telugu, it can be Tamil, it can be Russian, or anything, right? So, but
Exactly.
whatever you wanted to say is the same. It's the same way, coming to the languages or technology itself. So if you wanted to have, if you're learning a Java, because like you are developing, for example, let's say web services or something, you can use the same Python to develop the same things same things for web services and all. It's the concepts are different. Sorry, concepts are same, but implementation of the things are different. That's it. So if you
Exactly.
learn one, you can easily learn the other. I'm pretty much sure. You can easily learn the other things in just a week or 2 weeks. That's it.
If someone wants to be a full stack developer, Karthik, what stacks would you suggest him to learn in front and back end?
It varies actually. Yeah, it varies. If coming to my experience, I feel very comfortable with Java, Spring Boot, and any one of NoSQL database or any one of SQL databases, or when particularly saying relational databases and NoSQL databases. So one from NoSQL and one from SQL, and I think Java Spring Boot. So instead, you can it's like tweaking your toppings as part of if you go for a restaurant, right? So I need this chicken with this particular salad or with this particular thing. When you can interchange the toppings and everything, it's just the same. So for the backend, you can go for Java, Spring Boot, or you can go with Python or any other.
Django.
For example, some guys they wanted to be only with JavaScript. So if that was the case, they can go for Node.js and any other backend technology. So coming to the front end, I think most probably nowadays the famous things are only three. One is Angular, other is React, and another is Vue, and there are many other things like Next.js and Express and other things. But at least learn first thing is for the front end you need to learn JavaScript, because that is the one which is like ruling the whole front end development for years together, and it will rule for the future as well. And first learn JavaScript, because JavaScript is a little bit different from the Java. So I mean any other backend technology, because it's like loosely typed, and the backend things Java is like strongly typed, but Python again it's a loosely typed. But try to learn JavaScript first, and rest is everything will be similar. So whatever it might be, React or Angular or anything.
Okay. So you would suggest to learn JavaScript in the front end
Yeah, for the front end. First, you
and
start learning the language, and then it's the same. First of all, for the backend as well, first of all, you need to learn the Java. Then you can understand the concepts of Spring Boot. It's the same with Python as well. First of all, you need to learn the Python. Then you can learn the frameworks that is around together to build web applications or anything. Because nowadays everything is like almost web applications itself. But there is altogether a new what do you call career is like into ML and AI, where only majority we will be using Python and everything. But coming to a full stack, so these are the games. That's it. These are the players that is present in the games. So don't overthink. Just go with basics of the things. Just learn Java, Spring Boot, and just learn Angular, or just learn React, or just learn Vue, or just learn Python with the other frameworks that is supported for web services. If you start
so
it and try to implement the basic project out of it, it's not learning.
okay.
If you learn, it's gone. But
Yeah,
the thing is,
exactly.
like, if you learn it, you try to implement the basic projects, push it to the Git, and try to understand the problems that you are facing as part of the problem, and list it down. It will be helpful for your behavioral rounds as well. Who
Exactly.
knows? Yeah.
Exactly, Karthik. Karthik, were you only focused on building your full stack resume, or have you tried to involve any other like any other technologies like AML into your resume, along with your full stack
Yeah,
development?
I think that's a pretty good question,
Like
because
many are like
yeah.
worried about doing only full stack is not useful. I have to
Mhm.
do some projects on AML so that my resume gets more weighted.
Yeah, I think yeah that's what I already told you. So you never know what is that particular skill will be interested for a recruiter to pick your resume. I don't know like about ATS, but it bases on like string comparisons and all other things. But coming to, I mean, I just need to give a background about it. So I came for masters only with a motto to complete my computer science, except AI and ML. I thought in
Okay.
that particular motto, yeah, just to complete my masters, just to brush up my skills on whatever the software knowledge that I wanted to in computer science. That's it. But I wanted to thank one of my professor, Dr. Zina Tariq, so where she
Okay.
has literally inculcated me how a machine learning things are, and how easy it is, and how you can do fantastic projects out of it. So I think in May 2024, like in our summer semester, I have taken like her machine learning. course, which was like ultimate among any other course, where I got the first taste of machine learning, and I thought that, "Arey yaar, it is also a very easy thing that just like full
Yeah.
stack development."
Right.
Then I thought that okay, wonderful thought of what I got it is like I wanted to mix my web application or full stack knowledge with the machine learning things. So
Exactly.
where I've done a couple of projects where I mixed my web applications with Python, naive Bayes models, and done some couple of projects on it. And if you see my LinkedIn, headline, I used to say that machine learning powered web applications.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a word. I think maybe it might be famous in future. So where we will be including some kind of machine learning techniques as part of full stack development as well. So I think I can say that try to learn the ML and AI, but go on a level how it can be useful for an application that you are focusing on.
Exactly,
It's not
Karthik.
like learning ML separately or full stack development separately. Try to understand how you can merge and work on all of these things. And as part of it, I think in my resume also, I think I have added a couple of projects related to ML that I have done as part of my coursework. And yeah, it will be beneficial. I don't know, but it can be. It can be to showcase.
Even in my case, Karthik, I'm a full stack developer, where I try to implement ML in my full stack
Oh yeah,
development. So
yeah,
instead
that
of
is what
only focusing on full stack, if you try
exactly.
to implement those, you can like upskill yourself. You can
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
show that
You never
you're
know.
not
You
only
never know.
particular for development. Yeah,
Yeah, you never know what happens in that particular domain. If you mix it, you can do wonders in it.
exactly,
So
Karthik, exactly,
don't stop at one place. Like try to explore. But my point is, don't forget your base.
exactly.
My base is, for example, in my experience, like my base is my full stack development. From here onwards, I just need to jump for ML or I just can jump for AI or whatever it might be.
Exactly, Karthik.
Yeah.
So coming to my next question, Karthik.
Mhm.
So what all things you believe, what all things you think made you separate from others on getting into a good role in Discover Financial Services?
Yeah, I think firstly I can say that my 8 years of experience, man.
Mm-hmm.
So because here, I mean, of course, here the point is a little bit different. So I think we need to, believe and accept this truth. Where like in US there are a lot of fake resumes that are going on. Even a fresher will be applying for with a role that has like 7 or 8 years, and they'll be faking their resume. Out of those fake resumes, you will be get selected, but the unique skill that my point is my real 8 years that helped me. So
Okay.
whenever an interviewer wants to talk, I mean he's like interviewing me, in couple of questions or like 3 or 4 questions, he might be landed in a position where that yeah, he is a real guy. He's a real guy who has real 8 years of
Real
experience.
8 years
I think,
experience, yeah.
yeah. So that is the one unique thing that it helped me, and my full stack development roles. I mean skills. Sorry. So whatever it might be, Java, Spring Boot, and Angular. So where I worked hard for 8 years over there, and the good thing about it is, as I said, that my manager. Lakshmi Narayana Bonta, so he has given me the projects where I can work from the scratch, where I
Okay.
learned very well from there. If not, definitely I might be in another position. But those full stack development skills. And other thing is, I can say, the discipline of that. So, I
Okay.
told you, right? So, how I divided the day. It's very hard, I
Exactly.
agree, because I am also a guy, I'm not saying that I don't believe in discipline, but it's very hard to get into that particular discipline
Yeah, I
manner.
completely understand, Karthik, because even I am a master student and I know how it will be like to
Yeah,
divide your
manage.
day into different works. Since you
Yeah,
were also
different
doing
work.
as a, since you are were also doing working as a teaching assistant, it will be
Yeah.
more difficult for you to manage your work.
Exactly, exactly. There is the point actually. So, I think my driving force is the same thing. So I need to make sure that I need to feed my wife and I need to feed myself and I need to pay my bills by June and everything.
Exactly.
So that is my, craziest point. And I was very passionate about my career actually. So I think those two things made me, start working on it and be disciplined on it, and dividing my day into 4 parts and continuing them. I think maybe these three things, like 8 years of experience and full stack development skills, and discipline towards job search, made me unique. I'm thinking of them.
Awesome, Karthik. So, as you mentioned that you know that, you have experience, you got into like as you mentioned that you got experience and it helped you to land into good tech company like this. But what will be your advice for students who are completely new or who has zero experience or a little bit of experience and trying to get a full
Yeah.
time after their bachelor's or master's in USA and being as an international student?
Yeah, so I have divided these things into two parts. So maybe I'll advise the international students at the same time job seekers. So firstly for international students, okay. So the first thing, I'm treating you and all others as my brothers and sisters. So I'm just like trying as a big brother saying that, don't waste your last 2 years of academics, because the thing is from here onwards almost 80 to 90% of people will never go into again college or a university. I think
Okay.
some might be having some passion towards PhD and they will be moving on, but I think 80 to 90% will be stopping over here. And most of the people who comes for the masters from India, they'll be coming from only bachelors, where will they'll have 0 years of experience. And my whole first big suggestion is try to skill up and think that these are the last 2 years or 1.5 year that you have in your hand to skill up, and try to get into the market. That's it, because you need to be ready by the market by after 1.5 year. Okay, so and I think first for the first 1 year, I think you will not have any pressures. Of course, you will have the pressures of any other things that we shouldn't talk about. But the thing is,
The
the
main
skills.
pressure I would highlight this, the main pressure where most of these international students has is to
Mhm.
pay their like
Bills and
bill
other
to
things.
pay the bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
So
agree with that. But my point is, getting out of your masters and getting a job, that itself is even bigger than paying your bills. Because the thing is, after your masters, think that your OPT clock starts, and once it got started, you will be more pressurized. In that
okay.
particular, it's your choice. Like in that particular pressurized situation, you need to learn the skills and apply the jobs and crack the interviews. But my suggestion is take out this first one and keep it as part of your masters. So you have good courses as part of your masters. It might be UNT or any other university. You have good courses. So apply for the courses that can help you land in the jobs. So maybe that can be ML, that can be software engineering, that can be any other FDB or any other kind of things. So where go for that particular courses. Enjoy learning. Make sure that those skills are into your bag by end of 1 year or 1.5 year. So by then, if you finish off the things, you will have at least the skills. You are left only with applying and cracking the interviews. So applying and cracking the interviews are two things that will be depending on you and the God. That's it. It's not like purely on you, because the thing is applying and you need to get the job. I mean, at least the interview call and other things. So, but skills are the things that will be on your part, where try to focus on them. Don't waste your these 2 years of your time.
Can you tell us how students can apply for jobs, like which platform they have to use and which
Mhm.
portals they have to look up for?
Yeah, yeah, sure. So, to my knowledge, actually, I have went through only LinkedIn, and particularly targeting some companies and going through their career pages and applying for the roles. But I suggest there are like couple of other things like LinkedIn. You can first of all you need to build your LinkedIn profile, and as part of that particular LinkedIn profile, make sure that your skills are highlighted and your projects are highlighted. And there is a keen thing as part of the LinkedIn that is called features. Try to switch on those features, and pin your what do you call achievements as part of it, which will be highlighted as part of your LinkedIn's, and add your projects to it, explain it, and if you have some experience, include the roles and responsibilities. Many people are just like quoting their their, for example, they have worked as an associate consultant. That's it, associate consultant at so and so company. But you also need to code the roles and responsibilities inside it, so that if recruiter or some other guys are moving on your, or else they are going through your profile, it will be easier for them to take the decision there and then itself, instead
Okay.
of like thinking twice. So as part of that, have a good about you as part of the LinkedIn. And the LinkedIn headline, I don't think so like it should be a major like fancy one, but at least make sure that it exposes, or it shows your interest towards which domain, which technologies, and what you are.
Excellent. Exactly.
So that is about the LinkedIn. And you can go for Indeed platforms. Indeed, I think Dice, a Monster, and etc. I think these will be on the what do you call priority. So
So
and
more
next is
specifically, you applied only in LinkedIn, right?
yeah, but I done my the things with only LinkedIn, and next thing is with targeted companies.
Okay.
So my suggestion would be here is you apply in LinkedIn and Indeed, Dice and Monster and any other platforms, but make sure that again. So my funda is don't go with multiple things, keep it simple like three or four platforms, and target the companies that you know. For example, if you are a domain, for example, if you're fintech related guys, so search for like top 10 fintech companies as part of internet or ChatGPT or anywhere. Get the list and go into their careers and apply them, and
Okay.
constantly check their careers page whether they are updating or not. So, and also here, the major struggle that we face as a, master student is we need to check for the sponsorship as well. So don't ever keep no for the sponsorship if at all, if you are really dare to, move out of US after 3 years. But, try to have your sponsorship. Yes. Check for the jobs. There are some jobs where they'll provide the sponsorship, but you need to have that
Exactly.
resiliency towards it to find out those things. So to divide in a two ways. First thing is applying bulkily in LinkedIn, Dice, Indeed, or Monster, or any other thing platforms. And second thing is you need to have some kind of target companies in your mind for sure. So for that particular target companies, you just need to go through and apply it and check their career sites constantly and apply for the roles. And try to keep the job applications, whatever the applying, your application process or the time to limited in the sense 2 hours a day or 3 hours a day. That's it. Don't sit for altogether like for a whole day. I'll apply for okay. Don't think like in this way. On Monday I'll apply for applications. On Tuesday and Thursday I'll Tuesday to till Thursday I'll again study for my things. And on Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday I'll again apply for jobs.
Because
Don't do that.
we don't know when will
Yeah,
postings
on
will
which
be applied. Yeah.
yeah, because the thing is, most in my experience, most of the recruiters has reached out when the job has just posted.
Okay.
So you never know which on which time that was posted, but you have if you have started checking these things. That is the reason why I have taken my job application things 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the afternoon, and 1 hour in the night.
Okay.
So we never know when the job will be posted. Some recruiters will be posting their jobs in the early in the morning,
Morning.
and
Okay.
next somewhere in the mid of the day and then at the night. So we never know. So divide those things and try to limit the things and mainly focus on your skills, because once you get the job you need to be in a position where you need to crack it.
Okay.
So application process is important, but more than that, brushing up your skills, cracking the interview things is more important as part of it. So yeah, as I said, that revise.
Can a student balance his career and upskill himself as well as doing an on-campus job in his masters
Yeah.
to pay his basic needs?
Yeah. I think yeah. So the same thing again. So here the point is, if you are having an on-campus job for 20 hours, so just divide the things. That is the reason I told you. Choose the courses. It's not like don't choose like this course is very easy. Like I'll get a grade or a B grade over there. Just choose the courses what it can help you to land in a job. Just choose it and then work on it. It's not like you just need to stop whatever your professor has taught. You just need to research, because you have a good set of facilities that you have a laptop, you have an internet, high speed internet, and where you have right now you have AI powered as well. Like you can use ChatGPT to understand the topics that you are not
Exactly.
understanding while you're going through Stack Overflow or any other things. You got my point. So use all of these facilities and try to keep at least 2 to 3 hours of your day aside for skilling up. If at all, if you're not, if you are a skilled up professional, or else you have some skills like me, or like if you have some experience in India, try to brush up your skills and dive into the position where you can explain the things or you can build the things end to end. People don't know, or companies don't want the people to work on a single module, and I can only work on Java, or I can work only on Spring Boot, I can work only Angular. They don't want them. They don't know. They just need an engineer. You just need to know what is the definition of an engineer. Engineer is not the one like who will be like oh I'm only an Angular guy, or I'm only a Java guy. An engineer is a guy who engineers the things whatever it might be. In
Exactly.
future, you might
Exactly.
you could start your career on any other technology. You need to be ready on it. So if you wanted to ready on it, you just need to warm up your things. That's it.
Exactly.
So
So
that is
you
for it.
suggest
Yeah.
all the international students to to allocate time for their on-campus job, to allocate
Yeah.
time for doing their
Yes.
coursework, and
Yeah.
also time for upskilling their for getting a full-time job, right?
Yeah, upskilling for a full-time job or anything. So there, in those three things, you can combine two things. So your courses and your
Upskilling, right?
industry standard
Yeah.
skills. But sometimes some skills, I mean, most probably all the that is what masters mean, man. So master, whatever the courses that you have, you are like refining them, or you are learning, or you are exploring more into that. You got my
Exactly, Karthik.
point. So try to combine those things and try to do projects along with the courses so that you can complete your coursework. At the same time, you are learning a new industry skill over there. Try to learn the
Exactly.
skill that is hot in the industry, or like try to learn the industry standard skills with some practical experience. Again, it's not like just learning the things. You need to do some projects, or like whatever. You need to have some kind of practical experience over that. So
I
that is for
completely agree with that. Yeah.
international students. And coming to the job seekers, and again, I think if, job seekers in the sense that they might be in the third semester, or like last semester, or last but one semester. So for them, I would like to suggest, like, again, brushing up your skills. And yeah, the first one is, I already told you, resume building. From my experience, I'm telling that don't sit for months together or weeks together to build a perfect resume. There is nothing like there is a called as like perfect resume. So just try with some basic one. Go through the job descriptions. If you are having some calls with recruiters, try to learn the requirements of the company and what exactly the things are going on. Try to speak with the people that are in industry, and build your resume, and make it better day by day, better day by day.
Exactly.
So that is the first thing. And second thing is, brush up your skills. And if you are, I think sometimes, like people come with some experience that is not in demand right now. So maybe in US particularly. So try to find out as soon as possible, I mean, as soon as possible, that that your skills are not an industry hot skills, to get the new skills, because you are already an experienced one. And try to brush up. And after brushing up, the major thing is, write it down if you have some time. If not, try to revise. Even if you don't have the interview, revise it. Trust me, it will really help, because I have revised for almost a month, and my first interview was after a month of revising. So that is the reason why I got landed into the first job that I got into the interview. Believe me that this is my second job interview. I mean, this was like fourth job interview, but seriously, when I start the job hunt, it was my second one. That's it. The first one was PayPal, but it got rejected. I mean, I was not selected for that. For various reasons, that I was interviewed for principal staff over there as well, which requires more. But with this particular revising technique, it helped me to land in that particular job. So where it increases your confidence, it increases your way of explaining the things, which makes the interviewer easy to take decision on you, and it will be a positive decision, of course. Okay. So and as it is for both of them, the practical projects will be helpful. It's not like it's mandatory that we need to have a project, but my point over it is, you will have a practical experience if you do projects.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah.
Karthika, can
And one more
you?
thing I just wanted to inform for the job seekers. I think many of the people will take it as light. If you are a job seeker with some experience, definitely you need to have some kind of domain knowledge. Definitely
Okay.
you need to have a domain knowledge. Everyone will think that domain knowledge is not. I think no in no podcast, or someone will say that the domain is also required. But I wanted to suggest the guys, like, saying that domain is also important. So I belong to fintech. So
Okay.
I wanted to work in fintech itself. So the applications that I put and the applications I worked on will be narrowed down to full fintech itself, because I can explain the things. I can say that, I mean, my domain experience for 8 years has really helped me to join in Discover. So choose your domain. Choose your domain. So whenever, if you are in health, be in health. If you are in fintech, be in fintech. If at all, if you don't want to continue, for example, if some people will not like the health, or if they wanted to jump into insurance or some kind of fintech or something, if you wanted to switch, do proper research, get the basic things about it, because without the basic for example, in fintech, if you don't know what is creditor, or if you don't know what is debitor or debits or credits, you're gone. Even if you have Java or Spring Boot, whatever the technical knowledge, you're gone. Because the thing is, ultimately, when you join the company, you need to deal with the products. You'll need to deal with the business owners. So if you don't have the proper business knowledge or domain knowledge, it will be hard for you to, whenever you're doing a job. So my
Exactly,
point
Karthik.
is, start with choosing a domain, stay with it, improve on it, and get passionate about the domain.
I had a conversation with a few seniors and few people who are applying for the jobs are getting like many rejections. Like they are selling like they are telling like don't be more specific to a domain, because as a software engineer, as a full stack developer, any other person, you have to be more on that other than domain. People don't care
Yeah,
about their domain, but I
correct.
think I think it's not the case, Karthik, right? Am I right?
Yeah,
Because
it's
if you
not the
have a
case.
domain knowledge, if you have domain interest, and
Yeah,
you can align the skills upon those domain interests, the
yeah.
recruiter sees you more valuable, like he sees
Yeah,
you more interested, right?
yeah. Maybe I can explain that one a little bit. So why I have told in that particular way, domain, why domain is important. Of course, everything has like two heads, definitely. So the first head is like you need to have a domain, and second one is like you need to apply for anything. So my suggestion would be in this particular time, it's not like I only applied for fintech, but I also applied for health related. I also applied for insurance related. I agree, but my point is my focus will be more on fintech because I love fintech and I love to be in that particular things. So as part of, if we consider in that particular situation, if you are applying for a domain related things, you be
Okay.
more careful, because the thing is like whenever I can take an example of this PayPal. PayPal, I have applied for, I didn't apply actually. So, whenever I applied for a senior staff engineer, I got a call from recruiter. And
Okay.
while I'm talking to recruiter and, explaining my experience, how I worked and whatever the achievements that I have done for, past 8 years, she has pushed me for that senior staff.
Okay.
I mean, senior staff in the sense principal staff, because she taught me that, because whatever that the lucky part over there is, I have applied for the team which has same products that we built in Paysafe,
Okay.
in PayPal. It's merchant API. Okay, so it's like if you are the right guy, having less years of experience, but your domain will boost those years of
Exactly.
experience.
Awesome. Yeah,
Will
exactly.
yeah, it will help you to make sure that recruiter will push you on, push the interviewer team, saying that he has some domain knowledge and he has some the technical knowledge, where mixing it can be a bigger one.
Exactly, Karthik. Yeah.
Okay, so that is one thing. But don't stop. I don't say that don't stop applying for other domains. But my point is like focus on your domain. At the same time, you apply for the other domains as well. If you are applying for some domains, have some basic knowledge on them. So, for example, if you are applying for health, if you are applying for insurance or any other things, try to have some kind of basic knowledge where you can go through YouTube videos or any kind of blogs. You can easily get the terms out of it, and you can easily at least talk with the recruiters in the particular terms. So without domain, definitely, I mean, without domain as a fresher, definitely they will consider you. But if you are having some experience, at least you need to try to explain your domain, or else I'll put it in another way. For example, if you are applying for a health, let's say that you got an interview for health domain, okay,
Okay.
and if a proper interviewer is interviewing you, they will bar your skills, or else they'll look at your skills, what you have learned as part of your domain as well,
Okay.
even though they don't have experience on it, but they'll understand that whether you have understood your existing domain or not, apart from your technical skills. You need to at least know how exactly the things are.
Exactly, Karthik.
That boosts your, literally, believe me, that literally boosts your profile apart from this.
Exactly, Karthik. I completely agree with that. Karthik, I think we have covered all the questions which I'm
Yeah,
thinking to ask you.
yeah.
And also, I think this podcast will be really informative. All your 8+
So
experience,
I hope so.
all your master's experience, very, really, really interesting.
Yeah,
And I hope many students would be getting like knowledge from this podcast. So
yeah.
Once again, thank you for sharing your
Yeah,
experience,
yeah.
Karthik.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to, thank a couple of other guys. So first of all, I need to thank my managers. I think this is my first podcast. Maybe my manager, if at all he was watching it, I think he would be surprised. So thank you, Lakshmi Anna. So you are my big support as part of, PaySafe, and many other guys as well. So my teammates, they have boosted me. And after that, my professors, so Dr. Cuedo Jesus and Dr. Zina Tariq, and they literally helped me, my toughest journey, that is happening as part of the masters. And last but not least, my family and friends and my wife, where they have taken my decision, and they didn't oppose me, or they didn't tell it is no, but they really supported me to having that beautiful career in India. I just wanted to come back over and study over here. So I thank my wife and my family and my friends over here, literally in masters. They really helped me. Even though I am 8 years guy, like 8 years experience guy, and I was with friends with all like 2020 passed outs or 2021 passed outs. So they literally owned me as a brother and helped me in this my journey. And thanks you too. Last but not least, Aftab. Thanks for your invite to this podcast. Thank you so much.
And one more thing, Karthik, you taught me very, very good lesson today, which
Is
is
it?
I like when I've seen you working as a TA, or when I've seen you in campus, I never thought you had this 8+ experience, and I never thought you would have you have this much knowledge, which can
Yeah.
be real advice, like which can be really useful for students. So I would also suggest many students that you could approach your seniors,
Yeah.
get to know about their experience, learn from them, and try to implement it in your
Correct.
career. Also, guys, I'll be keeping Karthik's LinkedIn in my description, so you can, if you have any doubts or if you have any advice, you can message him in LinkedIn. So he'll be very happy to help you out.
Yeah, sure. I'll be definitely. So yeah, reach out to me if you have any questions. Exactly.
So thank you very much, Karthik. Thanks once
Yep.
again for
Thanks.
joining
Thanks
this
again.
podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye
And
bye.
guys, if you find this podcast really helpful, please do subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting more podcasts like this so that you can understand more about applying for jobs, get how to prepare for internships, how to prepare for your full times and all. So thank you, guys. I'll be seeing you in the next podcast. Take care. Bye.